Yeah, you know how it be. Nothing is ever the same. So you always, like I was like, short time in that other place, got comfortable for a split second. So now we in a new environment. First impression, very nice. They said, we have to spray your bag with this spray, like a pesticide. And I was like, I don't really want my bag sprayed, but they said it's a natural one. So, and they just do the outside, and I have a hard case suitcase, which I understand. I definitely understand why they do that. That being said, I definitely try to not be around so many harsh chemicals. But again, they said it was a natural one, so seems legit. Ooh. Whoa, it's an espresso coconut milk, which is, coconut water. Genius. Hydration station, Al Cha. Look at that sign. That is so beautiful. I love neon signs. Also, I'm watching Angel right now. I just started it. As in Angel from Buffy. Yeah, so that's been kind of fun. Just sitting out front at 7-Eleven. I looked for a different toasty. They didn't have any vegan ones, but they had an interesting shrimp quinoa pumpkin one. Anyway, we'll continue our search. But yeah, just taking a rest. I love these boots, but they, I think they offset my hips in a way where it also doesn't help my back. Because I'm used to being on flat feet. So I might have to get some like new shoes or something. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, I got some cash at this ATM, and if anyone's ever thinking, hesitation about that kind of business, it's honestly really chill. And like, I feel like there are definitely places that I've been where I've used, like, it's been a thing, you know what I mean? There's been a block, going to an ATM and like, that doesn't accept foreign cards, that doesn't accept foreign cards, having some issues. But here I find they all pretty much accept foreign cards, and the fee is generally the same. It's like 250 baht, so you can get cheaper if you look for it, but half the time it's the convenience fee. But yeah, reflecting of when I've been in like Tulum and I go to the bank and like the bank's just shut and all the bank machines just have black screen, and you're like, okay, not getting any money today. So it's nice to be able to access the funds. That's what we're on right now. The Church of 7-Eleven. Okay, this place rocks. And I got some Morning Glory with rice. Because actually I've been singing, what's the story, Morning Glory? And it's really nice and garlicky and spicy. And I've been looking for this type of restaurant, and I realized it's Isan. So I think that's Northern Thai, and I really enjoy this style. Woo! I needed that spice. Hi, birds! So I wanted to share something that might be helpful for anyone. But today when I checked into my new place, it was different, obviously. But again, that's one of the reasons that travel, I'm putting yourself out of your comfort zone all the time, basically, like, just keeps you flying. Because I felt my child coming up saying, when they told me that, they're gonna spray your bag, and just the room being a little bit more cramped, and I'm staying in one that's a mixed one, and no disrespect to the men, but I typically prefer staying in a female one these days. But anyway, You know, they always have lockers and things like this. And sometimes I lock my things, sometimes I don't, right? Take precaution in life, you know, look both ways before crossing the street kind of thing. But when we become clingy to anything, and this is the same theme that I'm always kind of going on about, you know, holding too tight to anything. Oh, that's pretty. It signals that we are fearing loss, or fearing being injured, or getting bed bugs, or being poisoned by the anti-bed bugs. So anyway, the method and the remedy, and again, listen to your intuition, follow your gut, follow your heart. But it's to just let it go and release to the higher power the outcome of pretty much anything ever. And I know that's easier said than done, and that's why it's important to make sure we're taking care of our bodies and ourselves and our hearts and our space and our people, you know. But I wanted to share a story that was a reflection of that in real time, and how we, you know, it unconsciously blocks what is ours. You know, and I saw something earlier that said, like, what's meant for you, just keep circling until you make space for it. And usually what is inhibiting that is our fear of losing something else that we don't actually care about, or that just isn't real. Anyway, when I was in Mexico, and this was a similar thing with the bug spray. So obviously that was something that was going to come up again, right? But yeah, I was like literally in my nice place in Mexico, and I felt very safe there. It was a really nice place. Pardon me if my nose is running. That was pretty spicy. So yeah, I was in my space. I went down to the pool and I was hanging out, and then Buddy's like, "Oh, we're spraying with pesticides today." The whole thing, like we're fumigating, and I was like, "Oh, I don't really like that." And he was like, "Yeah, you have 10 minutes. We're doing it in 10 minutes." I was like, dang, I wish I had known that so I could like not be on the premises. So anyway, the night previously, and I think that had been my first or second night there was an electronic door, and it was a electronic padlock, which I've never really seen. Anyway, I thought that's how you shut the door, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do the padlock. I did have a feeling I shouldn't touch that button. Long story short, that button locks you out from the other side so that you can't actually input the keypad after. So anyway, he's like, you have 10 minutes, and I was like, oh geez. So I go up to my house, the keypad doesn't work, and I was like, oh my goodness, there's these guys in like gas masks everywhere, like about to fumigate. And I was like in my bathing suit. I don't think I had my phone on me. I was just like, oh. And the guy was really, really nice. And he helped me get back into my apartment. They were very quick to respond and have the spare key and everything like that. Anyway, moral of the story. My overprotectiveness of my own self and being fearful for my own safety, even though, yes, it's good to lock the padlock if you're in a hotel, whatever. Do what you need to do to be safe. But I knew that I was pushing it, and immediately I got that message. Like, you blocking it, your own fear just locked you out of your own house. So that's the whole thing, you know? And my dad said that the other day too. Like, you know, when I was a kid, a lot of people didn't lock their house. And, you know, he never locks his car. Ain't nobody go lurking around my dad's house, but no, I'm kidding. But he was like, yeah, like people saying, oh, it's people are thieving, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to invite that energy in. And I was like, yes, exactly. So anyway, do what you need to do, right? We're still in the world. But if someone's gonna steal your thing, if someone's gonna, like, if, you know, if someone's gonna happen, it's probably gonna happen. Don't block your own self by being overly cautious. But also be safe, because I, for one, you know, I was thinking about when I was here, when I was younger. I think I was pretty good, to be honest, but definitely maybe a bit more reckless than I am now. But it's a different type of thing, right? Here we are. All right. What the heck? What a day. It was not what we expected, of course, and that's the fun. But no, literally, I moved into that place, that other hostel, and then I moved. And I'm not gonna like name that hostel or anything like that, because there was actually like nothing wrong with it on the surface, and hopefully not underneath as well. There definitely were a few reports of bugs. That was, you know, from months ago, but anyway, it seemed like a very nice place, and the people were very kind and sweet. Yeah, but I just like was immediately like, yo, I cannot stay here, and you have to listen to that. I have spent many years not, and thankfully, like, not fully, like I've usually, you know, been very listening to my intuition, but it's just, I'm at a point now where like, it doesn't matter how it looks, you know. And here's an example, and this is exactly what reminded me of it when I got there and how I was feeling. Was when I was in my apartment last year in Brooklyn, that I moved back to New York after I already left, and I was kind of forcing that, you know, and I knew that. But I did it anyway, and my neighborhood, I had a great time, and on the surface everything looked cool, but you know, it was kind of just like, this ain't your place, what are you doing here? And I had that feeling immediately at this place, and yeah, so nice, because I recognized it and was like, no. And then I moved to a new place, and it's wonderful, and I feel so comfortable. I literally dropped off all my laundry. I like cleansed my whole suitcase, and again, it wasn't dirty. It was like not like that or anything. I just was like, no, went in the shower. Hi, little kitty. Hi, you're so sweet. And scrubbed my whole self, and was like literally like scrubbing, like, please scrub any version of me that is going to accept less than what is my place, no matter what it be looking like, you know. Anyway, again, it looked cool. It seemed pretty nice. It just was not my place. But yeah, this one now, it's a female dorm too, and that was another thing that I was like, what am I doing hanging out in here? There was like men in there, like living in there. Woohoo! Which, cool, live. But I was like, at the ripe age of 1064, what are you doing? Living in this room full of men. Yay! And this area is really beautiful, really nice. And it's crazy because like I feel the current right now moving so quick, so yeah! Oh, nice. You know, you never know when it's your last day, do you know what I'm saying? So like I'm just trying to like enjoy, because who knows? Also, when I was going there, like my cab couldn't find it, and then when I tried to get back in the room, like the key card wouldn't work, and like those things are not always, you know, definitive of stuff, but when you already know and then that's out, you're like, okay. I just had this feeling too, right? It's like dark, pretty dark, and I'm just reminding that the darkness, the stickiness, it just keeps you on track. It's nothing to be afraid of. sometimes like, yeah, that icky sticky, I'm like, ooh, what is that? You know what I mean? It's just gonna keep you on track, right? So keep your cleanse, keep your hygiene up in all the right places, you know? Ooh, what is this? Because all it's there to do is keep you on track, not to punish you, not to make you feel bad, not to, you know, a lot of things, it's not your energy, it's not your stuff. It's just stuff that's keeping you at center. Yeah, because I was like, what the heck is that? And then I did some woof, and now we're back. And we are kept on track. And I just say, show me the way, show me the way, show me the way. Okay, I'm kind of on a rampage right now, but look at that brioche from heaven. Let's go. But yeah, sometimes that energy for me feels like death. Because it kind of is, right? It's the opposite of life. It is when you are out of alignment with your channel and your life force flow. So it kind of do be feeling like death sometimes. And to be clear, I'm not referring to like ego death, which ultimately leads to feeling good, freedom. But the death that is the denial of truth and one's true self and one's true flow, which I talk about in the video from Torino. What is it called? Anyway, where I talk about the upside down. That's what I'm talking about. And that was the energy I was getting at that other one. Was like, I ain't going back there. Oh yes, practical advice for that in this situation. Sometimes, and I'm finding this to be happening a little bit here, things not be looking like the photos. And that's normal, okay? You show up, things are a bit different, but like in a big way where I'm just like, okay, I would try before you buy. I kind of just been showing up now. And that's what I did before when I was here. I was here in Asia for 4 months, a long time ago. And I never booked anything in advance, really. But I'm kind of getting back into that flow and just showing up. Because, yeah, you never know. So, yay! And it's smelling good over here. Yes! Oh, it does not take much. Like, it's just a good smell. Oh my goodness.